I just restarted the video over. Now back to what I was saying. When Adolf Hitler first came into power, he was getting motivational speaker. He told his country after World War I that he'd make things happen. Now he didn't lie. He did make things happen in multiple ways, good and bad, depending what country you're with. But anyways, after World War I, everybody wanted Germany to pay. And as in everybody, I mean all the other countries. You know, America wasn't in there long. But I was talking about aircrafts, and it just kind of made me think of that, because World War II had some of the first, not really the first planes to fight in a war, but the most, I guess you could say, like, because, like, at the beginning of time, that was the most planes sent out to war.
Hey.
And what this is at first Hitler started taking over spots that Germany was not supposed to get back. And, you know, Hitler made people happy in Germany because he got more jobs for them. You know, they were actually making money now. And when he first got into power, he finally went in and got where everybody really liked him. And what he did with that was made 40,000 concentration camps. Now, one concentration camp killed at least 4,400 people a day. If you do the math correctly, you should come out with 176,000 people a day. Sorry, that they killed. And he didn't really have any trouble doing it either. That's the sad thing. And he basically said, if you're not any blood type related kind of, like, if you're not, I hate to use those terms, but it was true. If you're not white, he didn't like you. He showed that in the Olympics that Germany held. He was there, and the leader of the country is always supposed to shake the winner. USA had an African American in track and field that won and beat their German person. Now, their German person actually stood up for him, and Hitler did not like that. But America was kind of over here sitting like, hey, World War I was stupid. There was no reason for it. It just caused more and more problems for everybody else. I mean, they dug six foot holes in the ground with shovels for no reason. And so America was like, oh, we're just gonna stay neutral. And they kept hearing things, and America still was like, no, we're gonna stay neutral. And if I remember correctly, it is December 7th of 1941. I know it's in 1941. When Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. Saddening time for America. They blew up 4 ships on the coast. You can actually go see them. They actually take you on a scuba tour down there to see the ships. And basically, there was an airfield, I think they said 27 miles away from where those ships were hit, and they brought more bombers and blew up our airplanes, so we couldn't really fight back there. It was pretty interesting war, actually, to study. If you ever get the chance, I suggest studying it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make videos about aircraft. You know, there will be more videos where I do give you some history on that. Like, for instance, the first vehicle it was not made by Henry Ford. No matter how many people say it was made by Henry Ford, it was not. Well, the first, yeah, he was not the first motor vehicle. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but anyways, Henry Ford assembly line. That's what made him really famous. Is he produced cars manufactured fast and easy and cheap for people to actually afford. So everybody that is saying, oh yeah, back in the day when Model Ts were around, you had to be rich to own one. Not necessarily. And at that time, around that time is when the Great Depression hit and people lost their farms, lost family members because all that stuff. And during the Great Depression, you also got to figure the Dust Bowl hit. So people were living in tents and cars with no chance of much food. The men literally would give their food away and eat less for their families to survive more. And you got to figure the men really went out and did most of the farm work and stuff. Not being sexist there, just saying. Women did help a lot too. Children too. And it's just kind of interesting to see the way people lived. I mean, I watched this. I didn't really watch this, but we did a study over it, and what we saw was actually pretty sad. Because people literally sat there in their cars and lived. And they thought they had a decent life. I mean, I saw kids that probably could change the world when they're older. You know, help out. But see, the US government at that time didn't really know what to do. I mean, if your money was in a bank, like, if you ever research it, there's a saying that says, it's like your grandma buried her, like, money in the ground or whatever, or wealth in the ground. That's because in the Great Depression time, all the banks were shutting down. There's over 150,000 banks in the United States that shut down because the stock market crashed. And when they shut that, when all these banks shut down with all these people's money, the government told them if you even had over $200,000, you would not get it back. Because, I mean, you could have $200,000, but that's all they're paying you back. They paid anybody, like, if you had $200,000 or more, well, you're only, they said that, and, you know, everybody was still blaming Germany for everything. I mean, well, that's why you don't plug your phone in and fly planes, kid. But it's just, if you go from World War One to World War II, make sure you go to what's in between there, because it's actually something really interesting, and I think everybody would like it. And, you know, a lot of people do blame a lot of different things. Like me, Hitler was one of the worst people to ever walk this earth. Yeah, I'm killing myself, by the way. so I can go back to land. You know, it was just like 176,000 people in a day. That's how many people. I mean, not saying that many people were killed, but if you do the statistics or the math part of it, that's how many people could have been killed in a day. Because they say that a concentration camp could kill 4,400. So those aren't exact numbers, but the math the way I did, those are exact numbers. I mean, pretty solid. And you know, that's part of why I wanted to talk about aircraft, because it's actually a really interesting subject. And, well, and actually, they say the Wright brothers were the first people to fly a plane. I mean, but people are studying that that's not true. Just like the Henry Ford thing. He just made the assembly line. He did not make the first motor vehicle. So, I mean, yeah, when I come to it, yeah, I'll rub it in someone's face that, you know, a Ford was made before certain things. But I can't remember what car it was. I think it was a Mercedes, maybe, that was made as the first car. Like motor vehicle. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Let you do some more study on this. Just keep that in mind. And 76,000 people. 176. Like, they didn't even care. He's just like, oh yeah, we'll just do this. Keep that in mind, and you know, comment below on like other things you think I should talk about, and I'll tell you if I agree or not. Most time I will agree. Like Adolf Hitler, that's like one of the most craziest, freaking idiotic retard that walks this earth. Oh, I just smacked that cop too. How do I not have cops on me though? Makes no sense. Oh, shut up. Ow. I'm gonna go mess with this guy. Ah, he rolled. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, guys.